Good morning and welcome everyone. Welcome Linden Shade Tree Commission, Mr. Tandle, Mayor Armstead, Linden City Council, Columbia Bank, Dr. Hazelton, teachers, staff, and students to our 2022 Arbor Day celebration. At this time, I invite everyone to please stand so we can salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated. For those of you that do not know me, I am Dr. Laura Scamardella, the very proud principal of School Number 5, and have been for about 7 years now. Today we are here in honor of Arbor Day, and also because School Number 5 is being recognized by our supportive city officials and community dignitaries for achieving National Blue Ribbon Academic Excellence in 2020 and becoming an ESSA Distinguished School in 2021. Both of these national distinguished honors is a first in the city of Linden's history. The 2 trees that we have been gifted to our school. The first one by the Linden Shade Tree Commission, and the second one over there by Columbia Bank. Both of these trees are symbolic of the accomplishments we have made as a school community. In addition, our very own Mayor Armstead will proudly raise our Tree City USA flag. The flag that he will raise today will always remind us of the importance of community spirit, camaraderie, and to continue to celebrate and conserve trees as a vital natural resource. A tree symbolizes new life, positive energy, good health, and a bright future. All mighty trees start from little seeds, just as every mighty adult starts as a young child. The trunk of the tree represents the absorption of knowledge, just as our students' brains take in all the knowledge the teachers impart daily. The leaves represent the many individuals in our school, each one very important and responsible to the overall environment they belong in. No 2 leaves are the same, which speaks again to the importance of the individualism in education that we strive for. Once again, thank you all for this honor, and we cannot wait to see our trees thrive just like our beautiful children. I now would like to introduce to everyone our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Hazelton.
Thank you, Dr. Scaramadella. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. This is a beautiful, beautiful day. I am so excited to be here to help you all celebrate this wonderful ceremony. I will echo some of the same sentiments that Dr. Scaramadella just shared about the importance of trees. Trees represent life. They not only symbolize growth, but we need trees literally to breathe and to live and for their oxygen. And I think it's apropos that we are here at School Number 5, a blue ribbon school, because we know the elementary schools are the life of the school district. They are the foundation, like a strong tree trunk. And if the foundation is not secure, if it's not fed and loved, the entire tree will not blossom. That means that the middle school and the high school, without a strong foundation here at the elementary level, we would not be able to be successful on the secondary level. So it all is a part of the circle of life. I would like to thank Mayor Armstead and the City Council, and then also on behalf of the Linden Board of Education. I also bring greetings, Mr. Tandle from the Linden Shade Tree Commission. Thank you, sir, for your tireless work in ensuring that Linden remains a beautiful city with lots of green spaces. So thank you. And also we have representatives from Columbia Bank. So thank you and welcome. And children, you should be honored to be a part of this ceremony. And as you continue to thrive here in Linden in the school system, you can always return to School 5 and see the efforts of your labor as the tree grows as you continue to grow. Thank you and have a wonderful day and a fabulous weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Hazelton. Now I'd like to introduce to everyone Mr. Jeffrey Tandle.
Laura, thank you. Well, we finally made it. Our Arbor Day traditionally is the last Friday in April, which this year was April 29th. We had some with COVID, supply chain issues, and then last week, unfortunately, the weather was supposed to be rainy. We wound up canceling, so here we are. We're on a beautiful day anyway. So, this is a really important Arbor Day this year too, because it is the 150th anniversary of celebrating Arbor Day. It is also the 50th anniversary of the Arbor Day Foundation. April is an important month environmentally. We have Earth Day. It is also an International Landscape Architecture Month. That's what I do. I'm a landscape architect by profession, an architect. And did you know that the city of Linden was named after a tree? It was named after the linden tree. So this is a silver linden. We also thank Columbia Bank for their donation of a dogwood tree. We really appreciate it. I just also want to mention, in terms of landscape architects, this is also an important year because it is the 200th anniversary of the birth of Frederick Law Olmsted. Olmsted was considered the father of landscape architecture. And he also designed, he was very important in the New York, New Jersey area. He designed Central Park in New York, Prospect Park, and then also his successor firm was the designer of our own Union County Park system, which was one of the last ones that this firm designed. They also designed the Essex County Park system. The reason I bring him up also is, 200 years is a long time. And he had vision. If you read any of his writings, he talked about this area. He even mentions Linden in his talks about city planning and how the New York area is going to grow. And to have that kind of vision is very unusual. Somebody once said, "Great men plant trees in whose shade they may never sit." I love the superintendent's comments about coming back and seeing a tree that you planted. I do that all the time. I drive my family and friends crazy. Hey, that's my handiwork. I planted those trees, or I was involved with planting those. So it's a really good thing. So I also want to mention the importance for public health. Trees, as the superintendent mentioned, add oxygen, but they do many other things. They also reduce stormwater runoff. They improve property values. And they're good for our physical and mental health. They found that during COVID, one of the important things was for people to get out into the fresh air and into our parks. There's actually people who specialize in design of Alzheimer parks, which helps people who have difficulty with dementia and Alzheimer's finding their way around. And there's 50 years worth of data showing that people who are in hospitals who look out on green trees rather than an empty parking lot actually have to have fewer pain medications, fewer complications, and they get out of the hospital sooner. So it's really, really important. I also want to thank several people. I want to thank the mayor, city council, Mr. Javik is here representing the council, for their years of support of our program. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank our Public Works Department, which helps us maintain our tree system and our community forest. I want to thank Laura Scamardella and her staff, the superintendent as well, and the Board of Education for being involved in this, Columbia Bank. And I also want to thank our Shade Tree Commissioners. Ron is going to be coming here later, Ron Martins, Judy McCarthy, Renee Banks, and Gloria Monte Allegro. I have some parting gifts at the end, which I'll pass on to Laura. And now I'm going to pass it on to the mayor for the proclamation, and then he's going to help us hoist the Tree City USA flag.
Thank you, Jeff. For those of you who don't know, Jeff and I went to high school together. We graduated class in 1979. We're old now. Anyway, good morning, boys and girls. Well, I don't want to repeat the obvious, but we need trees and trees need us. As mentioned earlier, trees give off oxygen and we need oxygen to be able to live. And we breathe out carbon dioxide, which trees breathe in. So whoever was trying to figure this whole thing out with this planet had some sort of idea what they were doing. And it kind of works out pretty well. So we definitely have to take every opportunity we have to plant a tree or to just be conscious about what's going on environmentally, so that we all have a nice place to live called Earth. So without any further ado, we have a proclamation that we're going to read. The print is so small. And it's a proclamation, City of Linden, for New Jersey Arbor Day 2022. It reads, whereas in 1872, the Nebraska Board of Agriculture established a special day to be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas the holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can be a solution to combating climate change by reducing the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cutting heating and cooling costs, moderating the temperature, cleaning of the air, producing life, giving oxygen, and providing habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are renewable resource, giving us wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And now, trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify the community. There should have been now therefore, but now therefore further, I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 19th, 2022 as Arbor Day in the City of Linden, and I will urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and to support efforts to protect our trees, wood, and our environment. And it's dated by myself, the 29th day of April 2022. And as mentioned earlier, we were scheduled to have this, but a few things got in the way. We're celebrating today. So without any further ado, we're going to go over to the flagpole and we're going to raise our Arbor, our Tree City USA flag. All right, guys, it's going up. Tree City USA.
At this time, K-Kids, please come to the podium with your poem. The K-Kids are going to read a poem called The Gift of the Tree.
The Gift of the Tree by Lenore Hedrick. Trees offer to those who love them a message of peace and rest. They bring the glow of the setting sun as it vanishes in the west. They tell of years that swiftly pass with a little mark or scar. They tell of evenings that know not the home of the evening star. Trees offer to those who love them infinite wisdom and grace. Underneath their boughs, tree lovers see eternity's face.
Thank you. Wonderful job, K-Kids. At this time, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mrs. Boyer, one of our kindergarten teachers, who will get us ready for our kindergarten song.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see everyone here on this beautiful day. Thank you for coming. We are so excited to be singing this song today to celebrate Arbor Day. At this time, I'm going to be asking all the kindergartners to calmly stand up, face this way, look at your teacher or aide, and we're going to invite everyone up here to sing the song.
The
that's a wonderful way to end our Arbor Day celebration with our beautiful kindergarten students. Thank you again, everyone, for coming. Thank you for your generous gifts and your time, and most importantly, your support of our schools, because it really takes a village to help raise our students. And I could say one thing about Linden. I grew up in Linden. I'm a Linden person, and community means everything. So we proudly have 2 beautiful trees from our community, as well as a flag. So thank you again, and please feel free to stop by and watch our trees continue to grow just like our children. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.